Oh yeah, you're just recording. Now we're live. So everybody missed the first two laps. So now to catch everybody up, we are live, correct? Okay, so we're 100% live. Okay, so let's get everybody up to speed. Your 2 points leaders, Jackson Wade, Jared Ogletree, take an ELL to start the race, but you also have Devin Benoit, Aiden 1, Jason Chrisman, third. That was second through fourth. Yeah, second through fourth. They all get their times disallowed from cutting the dog leg. Talked to a lot of our guys pre-race. They thought this was going to be a very hectic race early on, and then that just adds the beans to the chili, if you will. And here we are, lap 4 coming to 5. Cody Williams and Miguel Rodriguez from 7th and 8th took your front row over after all the EOLs. And side by side racing, as I was just talking about them, meeting in the middle of the dog leg. Do we get a caution? Hutchinson. Oh, and Williams in the wall, keeping it straight. Doesn't seem to be too bad right now. Draft going to help out a lot with being able to, well, I say that, really holding up the bottom line now. 3 wide, 3 rows in. You know, something else I talked to these guys about before the race was just being in that pack and getting so aero tight. That's probably what you've seen back there with the 19. Just a lot of moving parts very early in this race. Hate that for Hutchinson. Just a tough track. I mean, if you don't spin out on the racetrack here, you're just really not going to get a caution. And we're keeping it going. Williams back to 5th now with the damage, still holding up the inside line. Miguel's trying to give him a push. I mean, if I'm Miguel here, I just want to get out from behind this guy. You know he's got damage. But honestly, nowhere to go. I mean, top line's just going to keep rolling. Bottom line, Miguel finally finds a hole in the top line. I hate to break away from the action, but can we see what happened between Miguel and Hutchinson there? We won't have a moment. We're just gonna have to find a moment. Not too much going on right now. Still 2 by 2. Yeah, we're just gonna have to find a moment to touch on that because you're never gonna get one. That's for sure. If you'll put me on the battle for the lead. So we have Jackson Wade's already up to P2. That's something I didn't catch. All the way from the back to P2 this early. Who do we got in the lead there? Here we go. Back a little bit farther. Well, for one, he spun on to pit road. That's why we got the caution. Just tucked up behind Williams out of 4. I think that's something that, you know, I kind of talked to these guys before the race. Just the dog leg is so deceiving. You think you have a lot more room than you do. I mean, there's a lot of room there, but Miguel's going to try to run second lane up technically. But then again, Hutchinson's also going to try to drift up and follow Cody. Just 2 minds meeting in the middle there. You really hate to see that, especially that early for Hutchinson. No caution. So, you know, we should We should get one eventually. This Ogletree is now up to P3, so both of those guys working their way up from the back up to the front pretty quick. And, you know, commentator's curse on this caution, I kind of figured we would have had one by now. We should have had one. But, I mean, these guys kind of seem like they've settled out. You know, whoever wants to be on the bottom's on the bottom. Whoever's on the top, they want to be there. I mean, just kind of riding around at this point. Oh, as James mentioned, I didn't catch it. When Hutchinson spun, it popped up that he entered pit road. That's just salt on the wound. It is still getting a little bit of a breakaway on the bottom here. Not a lot of guys committing to the top. Not enough momentum. You really get these trucks in a line. If Steven is going to correct me as soon as I say something, he's going to jump to the top and try to pull those guys back forward. Yeah, you knew that was coming, just bleeding time. Just going to have to hope for a caution. Maybe a free pass. Hopefully just one and not two, but we'll see what happens here. Ogletree and Wade, they're kind of watching that top line. Steven's got it back going again, so now you're about to see who goes where as they catch Hutchinson on the front straightaway. Yeah, if he wants that draft, he's going to have to tuck in now. Those trucks are moving by pretty quick. Wade's moved up to the top. Now it looks like everybody's just going to flip script here. So the bottom line loses all the momentum, and now you see the top line is going to take over for a little bit. And you know what? I'm just going to quit talking because as soon as I say something, Jackson back to the bottom. And honestly, I say back to the bottom, you know, a little bit of a Dale Jr. move. Kind of controlling those lanes. Which in reality is actually the fastest way to run here at Atlanta. If you're able to get out front like that and just run the bottom in the corners, run the top down the straightaways, you're almost unpassable. Tell you, Jackson's not going to make any friends making that late of a block. Ogletree keeping the momentum wound up. Not going to get there, but, you know, he's going to be thinking about that. I mean, late block going into the corner almost ran him up in the wall. I mean, you're racing for points here, and anything you can take, I know I've said it before, anything you can take, you know, you got the guy you're racing for points doing stuff like that. I mean, you're not going to catch it. You're not going to cut him a break next time, that's for sure. He's actually able to get around the outside of Jackson, but just that bottom line in the corner, so shorter way around, it takes forever to make a pass here. He may lead this lap, though. Not quite. Regroup and try it again. Steven on the bumper. Steven, I'd have to say, probably one of the better pushers at our super speedways here in the trucks this season from what I've seen at Daytona. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bottom line really starting to get going, though. Well, seesaw effect. And, you know, it's one of those things as a driver when you're in the seat, you know, you get a good run on the top and you're up there battling for the lead for a lap or two, and then you're back in this situation where it's like, you know, we just can't get anything going. It's really hard to stay patient, stay true to what you committed to. I mean, honestly, your first thought when that top dies off like this is like, well, where is the hole to get back to the bottom, and we'll just figure it out. But it looks like maybe Jared just staying true, just trusting that top line to get back going. It's going to pay off as he's able to get to the rear quarter of the 96 for a second. Steven doing all he can do. Got to be thinking about engine temp here. See him peeking out a little bit. It's got to be getting up there. And now the top two pulling the Dale Jr., trying to see top, bottom. Where do I want to be? Justin Sick going to take it high out of the corner. Bunch of mind games getting played here for sure. Top three breakaway. I mean, like I was saying, when you get out front like that and you're just able to swap back and forth and really run this place like old Atlanta, that's when you're in the best position. Yeah, I'd have to say definitely your top five is probably burning the most fuel right now. Anybody towards the back of this field should be able to make it an extra lap or two. Interesting thing about New Atlanta, though, is just the fact of you have to commit to pit road in turn 3. There is no how far can I take it, how far can I commit. Everybody's going to enter in the same place, so shouldn't be too much drama on getting to pit road here, but we'll see. I can tell you right now, I'm not looking forward to doing this tomorrow night in the O'Reilly Corps. Yeah, so the O'Reilly car, just from the officials I've ran, it's real bad about you can't be on somebody's bumper in the corner like these guys are tonight. I mean, when you go into the corner and you're the second, third car in line, you're going to lift a little bit, leave an air bubble, because if you're right up under somebody's spoiler in the corner, it's going to take the rears out from under them. So hopefully everybody's aware of that. I know I said it earlier in the chat this week. That's something to look for. But, you know, it's all about respect. And you got to hope that everybody respects the air bubble and that needs to be done. You know, late in a race, you do what you got to do. Everybody's going to race hard. But honestly, the key to survival tomorrow night is going to be just respect. It's Jared getting a little aero tight. Steven thought about going for it, thinks better of it there. And, you know, and I think these trucks, you know, on that same note, like the O'Reilly car has a loose problem in air. These trucks, they're getting so aero tight mid-pack. I mean, it can't be fun to drive. And as we're single filing out here, like you said, we got to be getting close to green flag pit stops, and I think that's why you've seen a lot of guys get off that top line. So not a whole lot of action going to be going on here. For sure. When's our stage? Yeah, I do believe so. Yep, I apologize. I mean, first week back in the booth, and I get on a long-winded tangent about aero, and we miss our stage break running order, but you know, that's something. Obviously, I think these guys probably picked their teams. James doing an excellent job with the paint schemes as always. You know, ULNV for Miguel makes sense. You know, that's in his region. Jackson, if I get to talk to him tonight, I gotta understand what this Mizzou thing is. I don't get it. Well, that'll be a fun fact if that's what I get out of it, because I did not know that. I seen Mizzou when he loaded in, and I was like, what are we doing? Yeah, Kent. Yeah, I do believe it's Kent State. Yeah. Well, not to take the low hanging fruit here, but you just got to applaud Jim for the Kent State car out here. I mean, it's Kent State, so just making the race is more than Kent State could have said for themselves, and so bravo, Jim. Yeah, it's time. A little bit longer. I think I was expecting 26, 27 laps. We get 34 for our first takers of. Is that Gerber? Am I pronouncing that right? Gerber? Okay. Yep, that'll be your first takers. And what I'll be interested to see, I know we talked about tire wear. I wonder, as SICK takes tires, 66, 54, they're all on tires. I was wondering if anybody was going to go no tires, save a set for later. Um, but interesting note, our leaders, who we thought were going to run out of fuel first, have made another circuit around Atlanta. Still no Ogletree or way. And never mind. No. And I almost wonder if like everybody else coming first was like a short pit for position, but I don't see it on a super speedway. The short pitting for position. I mean, maybe we'll see how everything shakes out here, but I don't see that working. Not at this kind of racetrack. Definitely, definitely more draft help with that first group, and so you got to think maybe those guys coordinated this all week. I mean, you may have some inter team mingling. You're gonna have that on super speedways. It takes a lot to win these things. So Wade's gonna come out in P1? No way. Really? Well, Jackson being out there by himself is a big problem. One thing I want to keep my eye on is I just made this note after our first pit cycle here. Don't short pit or don't long pit. And it was by a lap both directions. No, it looks like I think short pitting worked out just because all the guys did it together. Miguel was able to come out in front of these guys, but he's going to lose second because he didn't have the draft help. But you wonder if Jackson is going to try to hold these guys off. Way off pace with no help. Yeah. Yeah, that's just if maybe if Miguel and Jackson were able to come out pits together, that works out a lot better. Just no draft help. That's really going to kill you here. Best story out of this though is Chrisman and Lund EOL for cutting the dog leg in qualifying, but they band together. I don't know if that's a team. It is okay. Never. It is. So Jason, yeah. So that's the team. They were able to band together, overcome the EOL. Now they're running 1-2 after our first green flag pick cycle. So that's cool to see. Yeah, and you know, and we'll touch on it since we're here, and you know, they're probably wondering why we're so you know, particular about that rule, and it's just I don't think cutting the dog leg. I mean, obviously Jackson didn't cut the dog leg, had the best qualifying lap. It's not about it being faster. It was just more of a, as a matter of fact thing, because we do the same thing at every super speedway. NASCAR does it at super speedways, Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, and so does it gain you much here on iRacing and the truck specifically? Probably not. Not the way they did it, but it's just, hey, it's a rule that we had in place. We have to enforce it. Even though it sounds stupid, it's a rule. You have to follow the rules. Yeah, and so this race, honestly, so far has really flipped the script on what everybody thought coming in. And as spread out as we are, we may go green all the way. As bad as I would hate to say that from a broadcasting standpoint, I'm sure these guys that haven't had any issues and got the right pick call are loving it. They'd love to see this thing go green. Definitely not what I expected coming in. I thought this was going to be a catastrophe for at least the first 30. Oh yeah, for sure, and I'll double down on the point you just made, because I think that's probably what's happening. The early incidents with no cautions probably got everybody in the mind state of, yeah, you know, I don't want to be the guy that puts myself in the position to not get a caution. Yeah, just a tough break very early in the race for somebody who looked very promising, making moves early. Hutchinson, Stephen Parker, he's going to try to challenge Jackson for the lead. Maybe not the best situation to do that, as Miguel's able to tuck up behind his teammate here. You know he's not going to make a move. That's going to be bumper all day to the 69. May get Kyle Jackson. Oh well, but you know, I didn't even realize that Kyle was running a new scheme. Stephen Parker has a teammate on the outside, so mano y mano for the first two rows. Oh yeah, for sure, and you know, something we talked about on the first run didn't really come to fruit, but you know, they're able to save a little bit more fuel running behind these guys. Still got some side-by-side action for the lead. There we go. Get that full screen to back up. You know, Jackson's just in that power position. I mean, that's as much as a super speedway as this place is, it still has those 1.5 mile little tweaks in it where you're just able to really control the pace of a whole pack. It's very strange to me. I still don't understand the place fully, but just very, very powerful position leading versus other super speedways here at Atlanta. Yeah, they've done a lot with the package here in the past year for sure. I remember getting in these trucks like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and they were just all over the place loose on any super speedway. And tonight, you know, we're just seeing like just tight mid pack. Looks like the guys up front, they're okay on aero. I mean, they don't have the loose problem the O'Reilly car has, but it's definitely like a night and day difference truck a year and a half ago to now as far as aero packages on super speedways. And we think we got our teammates trying to figure it out right there. I know Sick was almost in the wall. Does Hutchinson still have damage? You know, and I'll just write this in my notes here. I'm really gonna have to go back. No, just off the pace. I think honestly, when they broke up, they were trying to pick him up. Just didn't work out. Yeah, John. Wow, Gerber, I must have missed what happened to him. I know he was leading early on, and now he's 15th, a lap down. I don't know, black flag maybe? You know, you got to think like some of these guys just not on the right side of the stick on the first go around. Maybe wishing there was a little bit more drama getting to pit road. I think this pit road's a little bit too easy to get to for that, but really spaced out here. I just feel our chance for a caution dwindling as every lap goes by. Yeah, they are still single file. I just think fuel is a big thing right now. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of action. We're right here at the halfway point. If you could get to the front early and lead laps, absolutely, you've done that. But if you can't, you know, you really have just kind of get in where you fit in, honestly. I mean, that's the best way to put it. And there's no reason to push. If you break out of the draft here, it's just not gonna happen, and so you end up with basically everyone single file around the racetrack right now. Oh, for sure. We got Brandon here. That's 17? Oh, that is Chris Ellis. Haven't talked much about him tonight. Alabama for Chris Ellis, huh? 3 wide. Lap cars racing, lap cars. Leaders racing leaders. Everybody's clear. Ooh, you know Jackson was clinched. Well, I think Chris got that left front down on the apron, about lost it. Great save by Chris. Yeah, Crispin and Lund just want to touch on that again. What a recovery. Just to go from thinking you qualified second and third to being 13th and 14th. I mean, it could be a mental break. But, they stayed true. Yeah, very impressive for sure. And, I'll just go ahead and say it as a racer. We're at the point of the race where I'm struggling to find things to talk about because we are single file, as single file gets. And in these situations, if I was in the car, I mean, I'm really doing everything but paying attention to what I'm doing. Just because there's nothing happening in front of me. This is just a Sunday drive. But I just want to ask Cameron, I mean, when the race gets like this at these super speedways, I mean, what kind of mind state does that put you in? Oh, for sure, especially if you're not ready for it. As we see someone out of line back there, I don't know if that's a leader or a lap car. The lap cars have added to this group, and, anybody outside the top 7 really doesn't want to see this because now you have an extra 3 cars in the lead pack, and so now you have 10 cars versus a bunch of 3-car groups, and disaster.
Wonder how long that's been. Alright, you should be able to hear me now. Yep, okay. Alright, so with that, go back to our leaders here.
Yeah, and this is, let's see, 5. Yeah, 10 cars versus a bunch of small groups. We're in the territory of only having 7 lead lap cars, even if we do get a caution here soon.
As you see, Aaron Fontaine dropped to pit road beginning of these green flag pit stops.
Yep, and he's gonna bring Crispin and Lund with him, and so that's gonna be a 3-car pack coming out of the pits.
We have to see if we get any more takers here. It does not look like it.
No, not this time around. Gotta be thinking about fuel here. What are they getting? 34 laps per tank?
About
should be good to go.
So sure, 34, 35, depending on Depending on some traffic and how well you can save, you can get. We saw up to 36 laps on that first initial run of the race. See Chris Ellis from laps down. And here you see the rest of your leaders, as well as your lap cars. You see the only lap car to stay out from that group is Brandon Hare. Hoping for probably a caution here, see if he can get that lap back and keep
Definitely. And honestly, I think the second lap group is going to come out way better this time. Jackson Wade and Miguel Rodriguez happen to be on the right strategy both times. They're going to have 6 cars versus. Looks like we didn't even get to keep the 13 of Fontaine this time. So 2 cars going to be out front versus 6.
Looks like our current leader on the racetrack, at least, coming in with his teammate Jared Ogletree and Kyle Kendall coming in here. They make that extra lap just like they did that first time around. And they bring in, looks like Jim Jackson with them.
Yep, and hopefully that doesn't set them back even farther. I know the last time maybe it was car count, maybe it was just strategy, but they got really far behind on the first stop, so maybe that doesn't make it worse. No, they did keep Fontaine. He was just out of pin.
Yep, he
My
is.
bad.
Well, he is there. He's got to tuck in here as we see them passing the guys that are racing here. The lead, Jackson Wade, is able, the top 3 all able to make it out. See if they can get organized and maybe put a charge to kind of keep this gap in place.
Oh yeah, they should be perfectly fine. It looks like
Nope, there it is.
No.
We're gonna see Chrisman try to make a move, see if they can carry this momentum up to the front. Just think it might be too little too late at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe the side draft off of Steven here will keep him in check. Now, the side draft here is just huge in these trucks. I mean, you can basically slow down a line like that immediately as it dies out right at Steven. So now they're going to have to put in some work on the top to get back even all the way.
Absolutely. And as you see, the biggest loser there from those pit stops is Kyle Jackson falling off of this lead pack.
Yep, and everybody should be good on fuel, and now everybody's good on fuel. Now you're gonna see the antsiness kick in. Like everything we were just talking about just riding around and trying to keep yourself in the mindset of being a race. Now we're racing again.
Absolutely, and with that racing that we're going to have here coming to the end, a battle to watch on this racetrack is going to be for that lucky dog, which current leader is David Leedy in 11th. Has a little bit of a gap here to Brandon Hare behind him, about 2 seconds it looks like, between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're battling for the lucky dog, but I think the best bet would be for Leedy to back up the Hare and just... I don't know.
If I feel like if I'm Leedy here, I'm going to try to not let Brandon get into my draft. It doesn't look like there's anybody around Brandon that can help him out. So there's no real benefit for Leedy, I think, at this point. It's going to be a tall task with how big this lead pack is to unlap yourself straight on pace. So I think at this point, your best bet is just to kind of keep yourself in that lucky dog position and put yourself in position if we get a late yellow here.
Thought the lap cars were going to be an issue for a second. Everything pans out. Leaders are able to take the bottom.
So we had to wonder there we saw it, might have seen Jim Jackson try to stay in front of his teammates to kind of use that toe for them to kind of help them to keep that lead. But with that, they have Jim Jackson falling a lap down, and he is now in the lucky dog position.
And now Leedy wants to back up to Brandon and get a draft. Oh, Steven and Miguel together. There's the wreck. There's the wreck.
Flag. The yellow flag the leaders did not want to see. The yellow flag about everybody else in the field wanted to see.
And Cody Williams,
another meatball flag.
Another bad week for sure.
Another bad week. That's definitely going to be something that we'll have to go back and look at some point. You see we have Bunch of cars involved in that one. Let's see if we can pull up that wreck.
Well, this just... I was worried about an uneventful finish, and here we go. Let's open the new notebook page.
Go ahead and see where this might have started. It started with your lead lap drivers. Go ahead and pause that real quick so you can get to... All right, here we go. So we'll go ahead and back it up a little bit, kind of see this all started coming out of turn 4. As you see, you gotta see Steven drop out of line, try to make a move here. Just get too low, get down into Miguel. Miguel trying to save it. Not quite able to. You see some net code with Cody Williams and Jim Jackson turning Williams into the ball. That's probably inevitably what brought out the cautions. Miguel not able to save it.
No, and Jim trying to avoid the slowing down Steven. Steven slowing down for Miguel. I mean, I think Steven was trying to side draft Miguel there, thought he was going to be lower. I mean, I hate it because me and Miguel really had a long conversation about this dog leg and how deceiving it is on where people are going to run, where you think they're going to run. And that exact thing happens to Miguel here. Steven thought he was going to go down to the red line because he was probably watching Jackson, and just very, very unfortunate.
Absolutely. As we see with that, the other big topic with that wreck, with Jim Jackson being involved, your lucky dog goes to David Leedy.
So David ends up getting it anyway. That's
Absolutely.
Hey, just log laps. That's all you got to do.
Hell of a drive there from Stephen Parker, not to pile in that and make that worse, however.
Yeah, that could be a saving grace for sure. You got to wonder, anybody thinking tires? I know we just pitted a couple laps ago, but I mean, do you put them on now and save yourself a pit stop later?
Well, it does not look like we had anybody go to pit road that time by. Oh, looks like we might be one to go here. Don't believe Jackson did not pit. Let's see if we can go back to see if somebody might have. Obviously, Miguel pits. Aaron Fontaine, he pitted.
Let's see if
Kendall, so your top 4 stayed out. Fontaine, your first one that did pit, and obviously you got Miguel. Not too worse for wear, still running 6. No longer connected to his teammate, but not too bad here in terms of position. So you got a car 30 wide back there. They got to figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's one of the bigger storylines out of this. For that caution, just GLM being 1-2 really in the power position. Separated now. You got Kyle Kendall and Jared Ogletree on row 2 teammates. It's going to be interesting. You don't have that GLM power position out front anymore, so Jackson's got to be worried about that.
Absolutely. You have to think that those lap cars, aside from David Leedy being the lucky dog, the rest of those lap cars probably wanted to see that run go for a little while longer, see if we can get some of these leaders. If they got these leaders to all pit, and they'd be able to get that lucky dog or the wave around and all be able to get back on the lead lap, but with it being so close, cars electing to stay out, not getting that wave around, as we can see a big stack up.
Jackson, big stack up mid-pack. Looks like everybody stays clear, everybody stays in line.
See Jackson Wade maintaining that lead, Stephen Parker tucking in behind. Biggest winner there, in my opinion, Jared Ogletree back up into the top 5.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I was starting to worry there for a little bit. No caution, just bad pit strategy or bad pit stops. I was down there changing the right rear all night tonight, and I just really didn't feel like we could gain anything on pit road. But yet here we are back in position running P3. Oh, no, P2. Jackson on the outside, linked up with Steven, another Chevrolet.
As you see now, teammates on the inside line here behind Steven. GLM getting linked back together, and teammates on the outside line. That's Kitties of Beer Racing.
Jackson's going to leave Steven out to dry.
That'll be something we'll have to look at there, potentially pass below the line. See if we can quickly take a look at that pass.
Nah, he's good. He straddled it.
Looks like he had enough inside the line that we should be okay there. Let's go back live. Steven able to get some help up, run up to the top lane there. Still 2x2 throughout the field.
You know, they're going to take my journalism pass after this race. You know, I've wrote up all these big storylines. You know, GLM loses the power position. 2 laps later, here they are again. So, my bad on the commentary tonight. It's just, if I say it, it's not going to happen.
Well, in the pit box and up
here,
here,
I say Jackson doesn't win this race. Or dare I say Jackson does win this race. I'm knocking on wood, Jackson, don't worry. But, I mean, at this point, I mean, if I say it, it doesn't happen, so.
Oh, as you see a car on the wall back there.
Chris Ellis back in the wall. Back in the wall down there. Oh, that's a meatball, too. You hate to see it. You can just tell by the way these trucks are racing into the corners, out of the corners. I mean, it's go time.
Not quite able to find a replay of that, so we'll go back live. Oh!
Much tighter racing. We got shoving into the corner.
Brandon Hare gets shoved up into the wall. You can definitely go back and take a look at that. There's meatball too. Oh, Kyle Jackson not cleared.
Yep.
Tough break for our fellow underdog racing driver. Just been a tough race for him.
No Kyle Bridges. He's all alone tonight. Three Fords in the top 3. A lot of shifting going on. A lot of pushing into the corners. We're coming to 15 to go this time. I don't think the wrecking's over. I think we're just getting started. I mean, these guys are sliding all around. I mean, it's time to go. Everybody wants it. Everybody got to reset with caution. Everybody has a chance.
There are also 2 Rams and 1 Ford. Not 3 Fords. Little trickery going on with GLMs running Fords in the Premier Series and running Rams here in the trucks, so a little confusing.
I'm used to being Fords. That's what I get for going to MIA for almost half the season. Wow, these two, I know they practiced Monday. A bunch of guys from GLM were in there practicing. Man, I mean, they just got this figured out. I haven't really seen anybody contest GLM tonight. I mean, as we come into 14 to go, maybe the outside line gets it going.
Unfortunately, saw some issues with some lap cars there that kind of took them out. I know that kind of spread out the field a little bit too. So we still have a decent sized group here, but not quite the size that it was at the beginning of this run.
Yeah, just that outside line, just not really staying uniform. If they can figure it out, it'll only take 2 or 3 laps to get up there where they need to be. Just not coming together. Now there's way more cars on the inside line now. You look for a London Chrisman to really just wait it out late, maybe make a move. You know, the 2 of them going together is going to be a lot better than one of them going. Sick. He's gonna try to stick his nose out there. He's stuck in the middle now. Steven maybe picks him up. He's gonna get the position behind Fontaine. Oh, what a mess. And that's gonna completely there went the entire top line. Now we're back single file.
All right, we come to 10 to go here.
Yeah, I'm just scanning over the field, trying to find something to talk about. Sick trying to make a move to the middle there. It just really broke up our outside line, kind of took away everything we were talking about. Somebody's going to do something. I just don't know when it's going to be. You can't make it too soon. I know Steven's trying to poke his nose out there. Nobody's biting. Back. Oh, he faked it back to the inside. There's a pass.
Okay, you have to think we're going to get some movement here in the front of the field. I know Miguel's hungry for a win. He's not going to just sit by and push Jackson to the win, especially with Jackson having multiple wins on the season so far. Miguel's hungry. We're likely to see something there. We got teammates lined up behind them. Teammates about to be lined up behind them with the 49 and 10 car, only one car apart. This race is far from over here as we are now 8 to go.
Yeah, and that's the two I've really been watching. London Christman in prime position, 3rd and 4th. I know they're thinking about it. I just don't know when it's going to be. And then you just wonder if it's going to work. I mean, bottom line seems to be holding true all night so far, and so even if the two do go together, I mean, does anyone go with them, or does everybody just stay on the bottom and those two get left out to dry? I mean, it's a one gigantic game of chess as we come 7 back to 6 to go.
Yeah, I think you see Steven trying to get linked up with Kyle here. See if they can do that. Not quite with the side draft from David Leedy. One of the big winners from that wreck, getting back on the lead lap, now running in the 6th position.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder if Kyle is just not aware that Steven's on the outside, or
I have to wonder with that gap kind of forming there, if maybe he was trying to wait and see if Steven could just jump in front of Leedy and they could both stay on the bottom.
for sure. And I mean, they're back there trying to get that top going. They just need like 1 or 2 more trucks, and I really think the top, as I say that, Leedy's 50-50. He wants to, but he's just not fully committing to it.
Absolutely. Leedy and No Talent Motorsports, he wants to put the fight here to Jackson Wade. Jackson Wade racing for No Talent Motorsports in the endurance side. So they're good buddies here. They want to be able to race each other.
See, that's a fun fact I didn't know.
Have to wonder here, Steven, if that gap's still there, when Steven gets there, if he stays on that high line, or if Kyle Leedy comes up. Some decisions to do. I don't think anybody really fully has their plan in place, and if they have one, I'm not quite sure if that plan is going to stay solid here as we come to 3 to go here at the conclusion of this lap.
Coming 3 to go, and I'm watching one. He's starting to stick the nose out there. It may not be this lap, but I think coming back 2 to go, you're definitely going to see that 66 and 54 make a move. You hope to see the 49 go with him, make something happen, but
as I say that, you see Steven tucked back in. He's back out now. Coming to 2 to go.
2 to go. I expect the 66 to go middle out of 4 here if he's close enough. He's not close enough.
Have to wonder if they can generate enough of a run. See the
Yeah,
outside
honestly, I
line
mean, that's the
forming
biggest
here.
thing.
There we go. The teammates linked up on the outside. I think right now it's now or never there for those third and fourth place drivers of
It
Lund
is.
and Chrisman. As there they make their move.
There that now they make their move. They see that top line forming. Now you got your two leaders
Out
out
on
to
an
dry.
island.
You know, Jackson's not going to let this happen. You know, or the block's not coming. I thought for sure there was going to be a block. Going to be a drag race out of the top four with the top line coming behind them.
Let's see where Kyle chooses to go. He chooses to stay bottom. Even goes high. Teammates splitting up. It's going to be a drag race to the line.
Top line's generating some momentum.
See if they can keep it off the corner.
Dead even out of four.
Oh, and we see a big
Oh,
wreck,
Jackson!
and you
No,
have
the
Steve,
whole
you have
field.
Lund making it.
Lund wins it.
I called it though. I did not think that Miguel would stick to Jackson's bumper. He tried to get to the inside
Oh
there, and
no!
just completely
Oh
killed
no!
half the field there. Let's see if we can pull back everything that happened there. We're gonna have to go way back here. I don't think we're gonna have to go way back and put this in slow motion to see everything that happened here in this one. A thrilling end to this race. Let's go ahead and bring this to the front of the field.
Yeah, Miguel he's not going to stay behind Jackson.
Jackson
Goes for the inside. I think Miguel drove up into him.
I think
I'd
so
have to see
too.
that. I'd
There
have to see
was
that rear
some.
chase one more time.
Let's go ahead and go back here. Go back a little bit further. We're gonna stop it there. See if we can get. I'll go far chase here on Miguel Rodriguez. See a little
Yeah,
bit of side
Jackson.
draft, maybe pull Jackson off the bottom a little bit. Miguel sees it and tries to put his truck there, but maybe a little net
Yeah,
code there even.
I
But
wouldn't say netcode, but I think Miguel. He sees Jackson slide up a lane. He sticks his nose in there, and they just meet. I mean,
sport under happening at the end of at the back of this field.
yeah. What a finish. And that's gonna get Kyle. That's gonna get Kyle Kendall locked in with that third place finish into the last round. And also, speaking of
And then
Miguel,
also,
even though wrecked at the finish, he is going to be Cody Williams. So now we've got Kyle Kendall, Miguel Rodriguez to finish the bracket next week.
no, that is the bracket finals was right now. The Kyle Kendall, your bracket champion on the last lap.
Oh,
That is
how about that?
last lap. Kyle Kendall able to make. Let's go ahead and ride along with Kyle for that last lap here. See if we can find him here. See where he was running at the beginning of that lap.
At the back of the pack.
At the back of that lead pack to start the lap. Let's just go ahead and follow along here with Kyle Kendall. I think at this point he has to he's praying for this wreck to happen to have a shot at this bracket challenge.
For sure.
Maybe he can hope to the outside line get some momentum if he can get past Miguel, but he sees him surge ahead here. Some heads up driving, some lucky driving that his car waited till after the checkered to spin out. Some great car control gets him the win in the bracket challenge.
For sure. Speaking of winners, do we have Aiden Lund?
Go ahead and see if we can get Aiden Lund here. Just gonna play from here for us. But let's see if I can see if we've got our winner to talk to. We do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab him here. Aiden Lund, winner at Atlanta EchoPark Speedway. How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, especially after seeing that finish. What were you thinking there, coming to the white, and what was your decision making that propelled you to get to that win?
Oh, man, that was crazy. Me and my teammate, we were just literally riding third and fourth, literally that entire race. It was just us behind the 96 and the 72. And I was asking him, I was like, when are we making this move? And he just was like, added turn two on the white flag. I mean, two to go. I was like, all right. And we did that and took off, got side by side, and the teammates on the bottom wrecked each other and the entire field. So got a little lucky there.
I don't know if I'd call it lucky. I do feel like y'all had the momentum on the outside anyway, but I mean, win's a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I just want to shout out my teammate, Jason, our Ginger Motorsports team. We worked amazing together tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the better duos. We were kind of talking about it all night. I mean, you guys just kind of getting your qualifying laps discounted and having to come from the back, but I mean, y'all got up there pretty quickly and never came off of each other's bumpers, and I find that pretty impressive.
Yeah, that our laps getting disqualified for both of us. That's on me. I completely forgot we couldn't go in like the travel and I told him I was like, yeah, let's go down there and I messed us both up.
Absolutely, a little bit lucky there, being a super speedway, being able to kind of dice your way back up to the lead. You were up there pretty early. What was your mindset starting back there with that penalty? What was your mindset kind of, and how you changed from before you knew you got that penalty to kind of after?
Yeah, so before that, it was just our plan was literally just to get together and ride up there for the first 95% of the race. And then as soon as we got stuck back there, we were like, all right, we actually have to be aggressive now. And I felt like the whole entire first like 30 to 40 laps, I'd say, before the first pit stop, we were just constantly battling, trying to get up there three wide, side by side, in lanes we didn't want to be in. And then eventually the first pit stop happened and we lost a lot of cars and we got lucky and we're still up there.
Absolutely. I think it was really impressive to see how well you and your teammate were working there throughout the race. You were able to stay together, especially after those pit stops, and get that jump despite kind of Jackson having that little bit of a gap there. You guys were able to stick together, hunt him down, and really stay in the fight the entire race. I guess as we finish up here, we look forward here now to the rest of this regular season. You're clinched with this win today to the playoffs. So how does that feel, being able to go and not necessarily have to point race as much and just kind of focus on trying to get some more wins as we um, head to into the next couple weeks in Martinsville next week and beyond?
Oh yeah, it means a lot because our plan this entire race was I need to win because me and him both joined late in the league and missed like the first 2 to 3 races, I'd say. So we're both like really far behind in points. But he got a win at Rockingham, which clinched him in. And we were like, all right, I need to get a win quick to lock me in. And luckily we got it done. And now we could just chill, progressively get better, and hopefully win more races.
Absolutely. Dakota, you got anything else for Aiden?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know you just touched on it. Jason winning at Rockingham. It's just bravo. I mean, heck of a job for both of you joining late. You both have wins, lock yourself in. So, I mean, I'm ready to see what y'all can do the rest of the season. Like you said, continue to get better. And, you know, I like that because you've both won a race and you're like, hey, let's get better. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, me too. I really appreciate you guys for doing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you for showing up.
Yep, thanks for racing and congrats on the win here, and good luck for the rest of the regular season.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, that was Aiden Lund. Go ahead and see if we can get any more of our top 3 finishers. It looks like I'm not seeing Kyle Jackson, our second place finisher, but I do see Kyle Kendall, so the other one of the Kyle and Kyle show. So let me go ahead and get him in here.
Yep.
Kyle
Ooh.
Kendall, our P3 finisher and bracket challenge champion. How do you feel?
Dude, I got a rabbit's foot in my pocket, I swear.
I was gonna say, do you
When
have
I-
like a voodoo doll in there for Miguel, or what happened there?
we had a perfectly timed caution. We were about to go a lap down, and me and Jared were talking about it, and I was like, dude, that caution really saved us. And then there at the end, I was like, I'm not going to catch him. And then just got lucky at the end of that race, really. I mean, there's nothing more to it. I was going to finish top 10, but nothing better than that.
No, when I seen that 16 truck cross the line in third, I was like, "Holy crap, he did it!"
Yeah, I was looking around, and I was like, dude, there's no blue and black truck in front of me. Where's Miguel at? And I started looking. I was like, I'm third. He's not in front of me, so I had to beat him, I guess. Yeah,
Hey,
it's crazy.
rabbit's foot or not, Kyle Kendall is racing for a championship, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That was a really fun race. After we got linked back up to the crowd after the caution, that was a really fun race.
It was a fun one to call. I'll be honest. I think from like 30 to 60, I was actually telling Cameron, I was like, I'm running out of things to talk about. We're all single file. This is speedway racing at its finest. But no, I mean, just the well timed caution for you to just be able to catch the lead back again. And just, I mean, a lot of people are going to say otherwise if they were involved. But I mean, just heck of a finish with a lot of drama.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I'd like to watch on TV for sure with an actual race. But that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to race it. There at the end, it could turn into chaos. We were coming around for the white flag, and I was like, "There's a wreck on the front stretch," and then we had already crossed, so everything worked out that we didn't have to green white checker it. But I have a feeling that was probably going to happen at the end anyways. That just seems to be a super speedway and anything like that. So
Absolutely. Well, phenomenal job to kind of ride it out there during the boring phase and come out bracket champions. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I was getting pretty discouraged there in the middle of the race. That's for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. I know, like, for me in a driver's seat, when a race gets like that, it's like, man, I could be doing a lot of things with my life right now.
I could make my wife happy cleaning the garage or something, you know.
Right.
And frankly, I don't even know. I don't remember really how I lost the pack. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I know I lost the pack. And I don't know if somebody got loose in front of me. I checked up or what exactly happened, but yeah, I got really lucky with caution. Jared got lucky with the caution. We were talking, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what we're gonna do. And he's like, we're just kind of effed. It's really just what it is, you know. So
Literally.
What
Literally.
were-
But not welcome to the playoffs, Cal. That's all I got.
yeah, no, I'm excited. Excited. It's been a good week. We got a new house. Been dealing with that all week, so it's nice to take a little stress off and sit down and run the sim for a little bit. So, yeah,
Well, whatever
no,
you
this
did
is an
this
exciting
week,
night.
whatever you did this, just buy another house next week. I mean,
with your non-existent winnings from the bracket challenge championship,
Yeah.
I just put it out there. You do not get house money or any money for the bracket challenge championship.
Yeah, no, I don't know who you think I am, but I am not Mr. Moneybags, so one house is enough for me.
Well, coming to the white there, I think you were back there in 7th, 8th place, something like that. What were you thinking in terms of seeing the 72 truck with Miguel Rodriguez out there at second on the bottom line? Did you think he even had a shot at this coming to the white?
For myself, no. I mean, and dude, Miguel's been so fast here in recent weeks, and I mean, he's always been fast, but I've heard he's kind of upgraded his setup or something, and I can tell a massive difference. The dude's super quick, really talented guy behind the wheel for sure. I enjoy racing with him. He's a fun time, and um, sucks for him, good for me at the end of the day. But I do feel bad for him. It does suck. Been in those situations where you think you're gonna have a good finish, and then doesn't happen. It always seems like it's on a super speedway. I'm running driver up close to the front, and then something happens on the last lap. It always seems to be that way. But I was really happy with it. Sucks to be him, but fun dude to race with. I imagine he'll probably be in the playoffs at the end of the day. I don't doubt that at all. He's super fast, dude.
Absolutely. He's been a guy to watch every week. Yeah, I know he hasn't gotten that win yet, but he's definitely been there, and I look forward to. I don't think this is going to be any season breaking result for him, despite losing that bracket challenge. But regardless, you were able to keep it straight there and stay out of the majority of that wreck. Bring it across P3 and get yourself that bracket challenge championship. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on all your finishes here in the bracket challenge. You've been there every week and to advance despite some runs that I know that you probably admit weren't quite as good as they could have been, but you've been able to scrounge up those finishes to get to this position here, and you were able to finish it out. So congratulations on that. Dakota, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Like I said before, I'm just congratulations. You're in the playoffs now. I'm ready to see what you can do with that. I will be rooting for you. At minimum, I want to see a championship 4 appearance. I'll do whatever I need to do to make that happen. But as James said in the chat, that's back-to-back bracket championships. I didn't know that. Print the T-shirts. I need them.
I feel like this one was just it was more coming from the back. Like Cameron was saying, I didn't have some of the finishes I wanted to have. Got lucky with the road course with me and Jim just battling out there at the end, and honestly, I thought I was going to lose to Jim during that road race. He was ahead of me for so long, and I had some mishaps. And then, like I was saying last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, it was one of those things. I just made less mistakes in the second half of the race after we had that stage caution. And but yeah, I do want to improve. I know I'm better than what it has been the last few weeks, but yeah, no, I'm hoping for a championship 4, battling it out. I think it'll be fun. I honestly imagine Miguel being that final 4. He's stupid fast, dude, and just bad luck there at the end of the race. And I feel for him, and he'll bounce back for sure. And I see him getting a win or 2 this season. Just how fast he's been here in recent weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Miguel, like Cameron said, I don't think this will break his season at all.
Mm-mm.
And I definitely, like you said, he'll be there in the championship 4, if not very close. And I think there's a lot to look forward to, for sure, going forward. And I think this is my 3rd week in the booth this season, man, and it's just I want to thank not only you but like everybody in the truck series. Just y'all put on a phenomenal show every week, and it's really fun to call. It's really refreshing for me. So shout out to you and all the truck guys. And I mean, I just may quit racing and just do this every week. I mean, this is phenomenal.
Please do.
Man.
Anyway. But it was a hell of a race for you there, Kyle. Congrats on that bracket challenge. Anybody you want to thank before we sign you off?
And it was fun racing with Jared there. We were in the chat talking and trying to work together, trying to talk about it. Me and him's been trying to work together as much as we can over this season and in the O'Reilly series also, and been a great help. Tries to throw pointers out there for me if he notices anything. But yeah, not just working with Jared, talking with Chris, working with Chris when he's in, and big thanks to Garage Beard. Kept my palate wet tonight, so it's not a sponsor, but it's just what I enjoy.
Well, congratulations on a great race, and good luck here the rest of the season as we get closer to the chase. And good luck as you punch yourself into the chase, regardless of how many winners we get.
Thank you, fellas.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, looks like that's all the top finishers that I believe we've got here. So I guess we can just go ahead and let's go ahead and talk about. We can go ahead and talk about Jackson Wade and Miguel Rodriguez. I think despite the finishes, not where they wanted to finish, Jackson Wade leading the most laps today. Miguel always was right there on his bumper. Hell of a run for these two GLM Rams, as they once again show that they're the cars or the trucks to beat week in and week out. What do you have any takeaways from this race for these two?
Yeah, I said it a lot, and I never thought it was going to be anything but these two finishing top two. Just they practiced all week. They were moving as one unit. They really had the race locked down. I think even white flag, if that doesn't happen out of four, those two getting out of line, those two a little bit of a miscommunication. Jackson gets tight, Miguel stays low. I seen that in the chat after the race. It was just all Jackson getting tight. It wasn't anything malicious on Miguel's side, but just you know, 99 out of 100 laps. It comes down to the final corner, just a little bit of a miscue. Outside of that, I mean, that was my takeaway. Is that was your one and two best cars all night. I mean, they controlled the field. Like you said, they've been doing that all season, all the GLM cars, and that little bit of mingle. The Tuss Rams, we're all kind of, we got our back lift spot in the GLM garage. We're Tuss, man. We're broke. Say it for what it is. We're running last season's GLM trucks, but like it's fine. We're gonna get everything figured out. but no, just
Oh, you did a hell of a job in last season's trucks, leading every single lap at Asheville, but
no idea how that happened. It was total luck,
Yeah, I'm sure nothing to do with any skill.
No, man. I mean, the GLM Rams, whether it's Jackson, it's Miguel. I mean, they've been fast all season. They prove it again at a super speedway, nonetheless. And you hate to see that out of four. I mean, that was your two best trucks, controlled the pace all night. They'll be back at it, and they have another chance to redeem themselves at Talladega. I know Jackson barely lost Daytona. So, I mean, these guys are there on super speedways, and I think both times that it's just final turn, final moment, final anything is what it's come down to for GLM at super speedways this season. Otherwise, they're pretty locked in. And so I'd like to see these guys really just put it all together at Talladega and go get them one like they deserve.
Absolutely. And I know out of four there, if we don't see Jackson get tight there, and who knows, that might have been a little bit of some side draft maybe from the 66 on his outside, maybe pulls him up a little bit. We won't quite know that till we go back and look at the replays later this week. But without that, I think at the very least it's going to be a drag race, and I really think that inside line probably had the momentum coming up off of Thor. So it's just the difference there between being wrecked out and getting the win, or at least a second place finish. And yes, as I was going to mention, is James, backseat commentator here. We do have Daytona as a regular season finale, so that is another place that they can kind of redeem themselves there. Go back to Daytona. Jackson will know we'll be hungry there here in, let's see, it's week 8, so about another 7 weeks. We'll head back to Daytona with these trucks and the Premier Series. And so he'll have another shot there, as well as Talladega in the chase.
That's what I was just about to say, because James corrected it and you touched on it. Daytona's a regular season finale. I thought it was Talladega. And so even though I was there for the schedule getting made, Talladega's in the chase. May God help us all.
Yeah, I mean, whoever decided to do that,
whoever decided this needs to be fired.
And I'll see decision, I'm just gonna, I'll see myself out too, Yeah, anyway, so we'll just let the air broadcast the rest of this race anyway. But no, so we have 2 more opportunities for them to get that super speedway win that they probably feel like they deserve, as they're the one of the classes of the field at Daytona, and one of, if not the class of the field here at Atlanta today. So I think that win is right there for them. Just got to have all the cards fall right for them on that last lap, as so many of these super speedways just come down to out of turn 4. So with that, you got anything else before we sign this one off?
No, just good job by GLM. I know they didn't get the finish. Good job on Kyle for just toughing it out and just coming through on that wild finish to go back to back on the bracket challenges. Dare I say the GOAT at the bracket? Dare I say? And what else was I gonna say? Oh, and Jason, his teammate, Aiden's teammate, just sticking with him. Not going for anything crazy. Knowing he already had the win, just getting his teammate to the win through and through. That was cool to see. But no, I mean I'm good other than that. That was just the few things that I've seen. That was a great job. I'm like I said before, I've really had fun having something to cover that I don't race in. It's really these guys have done a phenomenal job this year racing.
Absolutely, it's been great racing every week for these guys. Nobody's been head and shoulders above the rest. We've got a lot of guys that have a chance to win every week, which is evidence of the fact that I believe the most wins this season is Jackson with only 2, and so I think everybody else with one win apiece. So I know we're only 8 weeks in, 8 races down, 7 to go in the regular season, with 5 to go after that for the chase, but it's definitely been the name of the game has been parity here, and so we'll continue to see that as we go head into Martinsville next week. I believe week after that we'll head to, I don't know if is Eldora the week after that. I think it's Eldora, so we'll go do some dirt racing, and so
With yours truly.
Yep, we'll have Dakota Nichols back in the car at Eldora, or the Tusk for One truck, the All Star truck, and then in next week we will at Martinsville. Griffin will do his 3rd race. He'll be back in the Tusk One truck to see whatever we think is going to happen at Martinsville next week. Hopefully, not too chaotic. And so, with that one, good. Congratulations again to Aiden Lunn on the win and locking himself into the chase. And on the same coin, on the same other side of that coin, I suppose, congratulations as well to Kyle Kendall for winning the bracket challenge and punching his ticket to the chase. With that, we are out.